once again, here's my disclaimer. I gave you a disclaimer this morning. My disclaimer was, don't think I don't believe in heaven just because I changed the way you might define it. Don't think I don't believe in resurrection just because I might change the way you define it, okay? And I'll say this. The Apostle Paul wants to know the power of resurrection, and I don't think he means, boy, I hope I get to live after I die. And the reason I don't think he means that is because Paul got the believer in his day to identify with the death of Jesus, but he didn't expect you to die to do it. Not physically. Right? In other words, all of you in this room identify with the cross, and none of you had to die physically to get saved. So why can't you identify with the resurrection before you physically resurrect? The gospel of the New Testament is not only someday you get a new body and get to live forever. Fine and dandy, hope deferred. The gospel reality, see, that's where we were going this morning. The gospel reality is you get the forever in the same manner that you got the cross. Present reality. Otherwise, how do you know if you have to wait only for physical resurrection to walk in resurrection? How do you know you got a spiritual death at the cross until you die in the physical? We're walking by faith, not by sight. What we're believing is what he did was worth something now. And what it's worth is, I died spiritually at Calvary. My old man is gone. My new man is not waiting around 6 feet under to live. I don't take that away, but that's not all I have. The cross was physical for Jesus. It is spiritual for me. The resurrection was physical for Jesus. It is spiritual for me. I don't discount whatever God will do in the future with my physical body. Hope deferred. Power of his resurrection is what I want now. Now, Paul, I think, is better at this than you and me. This Paul, I think, is better at this than you and me, and no one amen that. I'm amazed that no one in here agrees that the Apostle Paul was a little better at this than you and than me. Well, I believe he was a little better at this than you and me. And when he writes, he says, you know what I really want to know? I want to know the power of resurrection. Which tells me there's more to this resurrection than I'm walking in. And there's more than you're walking in. And there was more than Paul was walking in. And he said, I want it. Right? That I may know him. And the power of what it means to be resurrected. Because resurrection speaks to me of brand new life. It means things can change. It means the pieces of me that I want to be gone could actually be gone. The things about me that I wish were different could actually be different. I want to know what that means. I want the power of a resurrected life. I want to see what a resurrected man would look like on the earth. I want to see what a resurrected man would love like on the earth. I want to see how a resurrected man would treat his enemies. I want to see how a resurrected man would treat his spouse. I want to see how a resurrected man would raise his kids. I know how non-resurrected men do all that stuff because I've watched it and I've been it. But I want to see the power of a resurrected man in that reality. And how do I walk in that? Well, we walk in that in the same way that I told you we are saved. We're not saved by what we can see and by what we can feel on a mountain we can touch, but it's all by faith. So these are not things that I can walk into and do on my own. They're things that I can believe about me because they're promises to me.